We have instances where we have people out on bail, violent repeat offenders, committing crimes. Yet again, we're seeing crime rates go up in this country. What is going on?
To be extremely blunt with all of our listeners, this was a process that this government has created literally since 2015 to telegraph to criminals from coast to coast to coast that you can continue and to repeat your bad behavior and there will be limited consequences, that we will grant you bail at the very earliest opportunity and on the most least onerous conditions, and that you can continue to repeat that same type of behavior and continue to get bail. And then eventually, when you are about to be sentenced, we have this Liberal government introducing all types of legislation to make it very easy for offenders to get through their sentence without learning anything. And that's one of the biggest frustrating things for me as a former prosecutor, that one of the tenets of sentencing in our courts is the issue regarding deterrence, is learning from your behavior. Anything that this government has done with Bill 75 and now C5 telegraphs the complete opposite. We're making it easy for you to continue to terrorize our communities. That's what's happening. Prior to 2015, when I was in the trenches in bail court probably 3 to 4 days a week, when you had an individual facing a reverse onus situation, so either they've committed offense, which by its very nature creates a reverse onus, or there already had been a release and they breached that particular release by committing further offenses. We felt confident prior to 2015 that a reverse onus was such a steep hill for an individual to establish that there should be another opportunity for them to prove themselves in the community. We found more and more people being detained because of that reverse onus scenario. Post 2015, we had two significant Supreme Court of Canada decisions that came out in 2017 and 2020, Antic and Zora, which completely changed the landscape as far as bail is concerned in our bail courts. Again, with that emphasis on the element of restraint, to release at the earliest opportunity with the least onerous conditions, and it did not matter if that person was facing a reverse onus. It did not matter if they had a history, a record of repeated bad behavior, a record of failing to attend court, a record for failing to comply with bail conditions. The message was to the trier, whether that be the justice of the peace or the judge, the Supreme Court of Canada has said this is permissible, so I must follow that directive. That's what was happening. And to make matters worse, again, legislation from the government, 75 and now C5, that has compounded the situation. This government has continually failed Canadians. They've done so since 2015. They're putting communities at risk. This has to stop. We have a groundswelling of support. We're finally having a discussion, your podcast. We've got premiers, we've got police chiefs, we've got police associations. We need those constituents who perhaps hopefully are watching this podcast from Liberal-held ridings to reach out to their MPs to say enough is enough. It is time to stand up for law-abiding Canadians. Keep us safe. If you can't do the job, move over, let the next Conservative government get that job done.
I agree.